The mysterious engravings of Ireland's 5,000-year-old megalithic tomb. For thousands of years they've stood high on the windswept hills with views of a gentle green landscape rolling away on all sides. Before the first pyramids were even built in Egypt, this wild and rugged land was home to Neolithic people who carved strange patterns into the stones. And yet it's the mystery that enshrouds this tomb site in Loughcrew, in Ireland's County Meath, that's the real secret to its appeal. There are more than 30 cairns, or stone monuments, and mounds scattered around the two hills of Carnbane West and Carnbane East at Loughcrew, locally known as Slieve na Calais, or Hill of the Witch. Legends say the cairns were created by a giant hag who strode the hills holding stones in her apron, with the stones she dropped becoming the rock monuments of today. Unlike other British and Irish megaliths such as Stonehenge and Newgrange, the cairns at Loughcrew are relatively unknown, and this despite the fact that it's been described as one of the best examples of a Stone Age landscape in Ireland today. The central passage tomb of Loughcrew, with the rather unromantic name of Cairn T, may be one of the oldest freestanding buildings on Earth. It's certainly one of the most intriguing. Built between 3500 BC and 3200 BC, the impressive cairn stands on top of the highest hill in the area, with a view that extends for miles. Unlike many other megalithic ruins, Cairn T is relatively intact, with only a capstone and quartz mantle missing. The monument stands around 120 feet in diameter and is surrounded by around 40 large curbstones marking its perimeter. One of these curbstones is especially significant. This is the so-called Hag's Chair, where the witch who dropped the giant stone supposedly sat and stargazed. You can see why it was named as such. The large rock does, in fact, look a lot like a chair with arms on each side. Of particular interest are the ancient engravings carved into the stone, which are yet to be fully understood. There are many engraved drawings in the rocks at Loughcrew, though their original function remains hotly debated. Speculation over the purpose of the designs range from maps to astronomical symbols, and even simply the doodles of a bored Stone Age person. One pattern that features repeatedly at Loughcrew is circles. These sometimes appear in the form of depressions in the rock known as cup markings, or as larger concentric circles that sometimes encircle cup markings. These carved rings are used in part to substantiate the astronomical images theory, with some researchers claiming they represent planetary bodies. Although this is, of course, possible, the idea is discounted by those who point out that it would be too hard to differentiate between a planet and a moon, for example, if they're both simply circles. Although some of the circles have openings or lines that, it is said, disprove the claim. Another hypothesis is that the engraved circles and dots are meant to form a map, with the round symbols standing for nearby forts. Indeed, the pattern made by the markings has been found to correspond with the way Neolithic strongholds were built, in groups of 3, which certainly lends some credence to this theory. Whatever their meaning, the 26 stones scored with these enigmatic markings inside Cairn T had an amazing and beautiful surprise in store. In the 1980s, a researcher named Martin Brennan discovered that one of these decorated slabs, the backstone, was lit up during sunrises around the spring and autumn equinoxes. At these two times of the year, when the day and night are of equal length, witnesses are treated to a prehistoric light show. As the sun gradually rises in the morning sky, its rays, shaped by the stones at the entrance, infiltrate the mound's dark interior to slowly slide across and illuminate the ancient rock art. Those who have been lucky enough to see this biannual event describe it as magical and spellbinding. However, there is a practical purpose for this play of sunlight, and most probably moonlight as well. What the builders of Cairn T have created is a functioning astronomical calendar, which may even be able to predict leap years. Although megalithic sites such as those at Loughcrew are often referred to as tombs, some researchers say that this may not have been the main reason for their construction. They note that when these monuments have been used as graves, it's almost always shown to be a secondary purpose. These passage mound analysts claim that the true function of these stone constructions was to serve as seasonal markers, as illustrated by the equinox light displays already described. Perhaps they're right, or perhaps the megalithic structures serve both as graves and calendars to an equal degree. in a way that made sense to the local inhabitants at the time. It's unlikely we'll ever know for sure, but it definitely adds to the intrigue. Adjacent to Cairn T, there are other smaller cairns, which from above look like little more than circles of rock. These minor cairns are also of interest though. One of them, Cairn U, has a ring of 16 curbstones and a passage and chamber, now no longer covered, that measure roughly 23 feet. The site also includes 13 elaborately engraved slabs. There are other megalithic sites in Ireland and elsewhere similar to that at Loughcrew. What makes this one special, however, is its abundant and zigzagging rock art, its spectacular surroundings, and its relative anonymity. If you're interested in Irish prehistory or megaliths, or simply have a taste for the mysterious, Loughcrew is definitely a place worth exploring.